The deadly crash in Tennessee has renewed the debate about seatbelts in school buses. At least 5 little children were killed yesterday when the bus flipped over and wrapped around a tree. The driver is now facing charges. The top government safety regulator calls school buses the safest way for your children to get to and from school. Kris Van Cleave is in Washington with a look at the decades-old debate. Kris, good morning.
Good morning. The NTSB agrees with that, and when you look at the numbers, it is very rare for there to be a fatal school bus crash, and children on board the school bus are among the least likely to be killed in those crashes. Still, top safety regulators say seatbelts should be on school buses, but only a few states require that, and crash experts say in many cases those restraints could be improved.
We know that seatbelts will save lives. If we put one for every kid on every school bus.
The head of the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says 3-point seatbelts, like the ones in your car that go across the shoulder and the waist, should be on every school bus. But there's no federal mandate. 6 states require seatbelts on school buses, but only California meets the NHTSA recommendation. Administrator Mark Rosekind says his agency has been weighing whether to mandate belts on school buses for 4 decades.
And we're not denying this is going to be a challenge, but we're looking at everything from research to funding to figure out how to help everybody nationwide get their kids even safer.
NHTSA estimates 4 children die every year in large school bus crashes. It believes seatbelts would reduce those deaths by half. This seatbelt manufacturer's rollover test shows the impact of a crash on unbuckled children.
The belts are good, and they are certainly very good in a rollover where you might be ejected if you didn't have that belt.
Independent crash investigator Ken Sokolsky says 2-point seatbelts that only go over a student's lap and are used in school buses in several states may not protect as well in a side impact crash like this one in Florida where a child died.
The seat pivots over and this belt ramps up over the crest and into the abdominal region.
So this seatbelt becomes a weapon when that seat starts to move.
Exactly, yeah.
Last year, NHTSA predicted it would cost between $7,300 and $10,000 to retrofit each school bus with seatbelts. With an estimated 500,000 school buses in service, the cost would be in the billions. Administrator Rosekind suggested new buses could come off the assembly line standard with seatbelts.
The manufacturers could do this on their own starting now.
And because of the cost involved, NHTSA says it could take up to a decade or more, if ever, to get a regulation in place. The NTSB believes 3-point seatbelts would improve school bus safety. Nora?
I agree. I think seatbelts should be mandatory. Yeah.